Everyone has at least one, and for most people it's more than one. I want you to think about the number one. The number one project, goal, idea that you have yet to complete. And it's number one because it's the one that for sure, if you were to never complete it, you would have great regrets around it. I want you to bring that to mind, and we're going to talk about that today. My name's Gajda. This is Raise Your Value. This week I've been thinking a lot about creation and completion. And I've been thinking about those two things because this marks the 10th anniversary of the release of my first and my only album. I am a singer, guitarist. I don't play and sing as much as I used to, but when I was younger, I was in several bands, and after I moved to San Francisco, I decided I wanted to record a solo album. Now, anyone out there who has ever created anything from scratch, okay, whether that was something artistic, like an album or a painting or a book, or whether it's a company, a business, it doesn't matter. You understand what it takes to do something like that, right? The mindset, the focus, the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears. And as I've thought about that album this year and listened to it again, it really struck me how proud I am of myself that I completed it. And I wrote a blog piece on Medium earlier this week where I talked about 5 key lessons I learned in making that record. I talked about creating, I talked about capturing, I talked about caring, I talked about completing, and I talked about celebrating. In this video, I really want to focus on this idea of completing something. You know, apparently today when I'm filming this video is something called single tasking day. Maybe many of you have heard multitasking is a fallacy, right? Several studies that show in actuality when you attempt to multitask, you get less done. You're less focused. So it seems appropriate that here on single tasking day, I'm talking to you about completing things. We start a lot of things. And we have a lot of ideas that we never even start. And I'm not sitting here in front of you telling you that you need to go out and finish everything you've ever thought of. But what I'm going to suggest is this. I want you to think about what is that one big thing? What's that idea, that concept, that goal that's on the top of your list? And as I said at the beginning of this video, you know it's there because it's the thing that if you never completed it, you'd have great regrets around it. Now, the truth of it, for many of you, there might be multiple things. On my list is writing a book, one of the things I still have not done. Years ago on my list was creating an album. That's now done. Many other things that were on my list have been completed, and some things that are on my list have yet to be completed. I want you to think about what is that number one thing for you. And I want you to make a commitment that you're going to complete it. Here on Raise Your Value, we talk about leadership, we talk about lifestyle, and we talk about legacy. And the completion of great projects, great goals, great ideas fits into all 3 of those categories. In its completion, not only will you build your leadership skills, but the posture and presence created when you complete a huge project will be felt by people around you and they will follow you. In its completion, you will get a sense of fulfillment that will feed your lifestyle. And in its completion, you will potentially leave one thing that will live longer than you. You will make a mark. It's a simple thing. And when I look back on my life and I look at the things that I've completed, I feel a sense of pride. And it really doesn't matter how small or big they are. The pride comes from the feeling of completion, from knowing that I did what I said I'm going to do, and to be able to look at whatever it is that I created and say, I did that. So I don't know what one thing is for you. It may be in your business. It may be in your personal life. But what is that thing that you know that if you never achieve it, you never accomplish it, you never create it, you will regret it? Why wait? It's the week of single tasking day. What better time to get started and to make a commitment to complete it? The Raise Your Value community wants to hear from you. What is that one thing for you? Share it in the comments below. Put it out there. Make a declaration. Make a commitment. And if this video resonates with you, pass it on. Let's give some other people a kick in the butt, a spark to actually take something on and complete it. Let's get more of these ideas, concepts, goals out there in the world. This is Gajda signing off. I will see you in the next conversation.